So, when you start something new, you feel excited or you're pumped. Now, it's time to feel that. Let's start new series. How's good people? Welcome back to another new... Wait, let me introduce a new series of this channel. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and welcome the great, a totally new YouTube video series. Where am I? Oh, that's scenes. So, we are very close to 1,000 subscribers. Maybe when you watch this video, it'll achieve. I don't know. If that happens, thank you. I really appreciate your support. So anyway, I thought it's time to start new series. So in this series, that scenes, I'm going to pick up my favorite scenes from the Gears, which is also my YouTube series, which is right here. And then I'm going to explain to you guys how the shot was taken or show you guys how I color grade and edit the footage. So basically, I'll remake the scene to show you guys the filmmaking, post-production process, especially focus on color grading. I had a lot of requests about that, but now, here it is, it finally starts. Alright, you guys ready? The scene I'll remake today is this.
I need something else to clear my head. Someone to tell me how to live instead.
It's from this video, Sony A7III Master, which is absolutely my favorite. So this time I'll take you to the journey of color grading process. Okay, from now I'm going to disappear for a while and leave the rest of this show to the guy who does the color. Hey man.
Yeah,
You ready?
of course.
It's all yours.
Alright.
Alright, so let's breathe a new life into the footage. Enjoy.
Okay, hi guys, I'm the guy who does the color. So I'm going to use DaVinci Resolve for color grading, but I think color grading theory is universal among any post-production editing software like a Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, After Effects, whatever it is. So I think you can apply my way to your color grading process, okay? Alright, so this scene is composed by two footages. One of them is this guy walking the aisle toward the camera, and another one is also this guy walking the aisle toward the camera, but this one he's going to appear from out of focus. So when you do color grading, there is important thing which is deciding hero scene and hero frame. So hero scene is main image or overview through the whole film. The color of that hero scene is gonna be main color theme. Of course, when the scene changes like from outside to inside of house, maybe you're gonna have to color grade from the top, but the color theme, like shadow is blue or mid-tone highlight is orange, yellow, has to be same as much as possible to maintain the whole the color atmosphere color theme. So in this B-roll, there are so many footages scenes, but what I have to do is pick up the hero scene, and I think this is hero scene, this one. So the reason why I chose this as hero scene is, I thought this represents the story of whole B-roll most, and I just like this shot. The reason can be anything, so just pick up your favorite. So once you decide hero scene, next thing you do is decide hero frame. The video is not still, it's playing all time, but you gotta stop somewhere to, color grade. And I think there must be some point where it's emphasized most or where everything appears as much as possible. So in this hero scene, I think hero frame is somewhere like around this. Because we can see this guy and background equally. Okay, before you actually start color grading, there is another tip. Use RGB parade and vector scope. So in RGB parade, you can actually see color balance like this, red, green, blue. And I also checked the exposure with this. You don't want to go over 1,000 or under 0. The image will be killed. And you can use this vector scope for skin tone, but I'll explain this later. Okay, so in DaVinci Resolve,
Hold
you
on.
can... What?
I'm using Premiere Pro, but does it also have it? I know how you felt
Okay,
this way.
hold on.
I also was wondering about that.
Yeah, of course. You can go from window and Lumetri scopes, and you can choose whatever you want from this setting logo. And I'm pretty sure that you can do same thing in Final Cut Pro, but I honestly don't know how to do it in that. You know it?
Nah, me neither. So if you know how to use RGB Parade and Vector Scope in Final Cut Pro, please leave some comment below for someone who needs that information. It'll be so appreciated, right? Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, so in DaVinci Resolve, you're gonna do color grading by making layers like a Photoshop. But the visual is kind of different, so I think you're gonna be confused, but let me make layers first. Okay, so first one will be exposure. In this node, I'm going to control contrast, shadow, highlights. That's it for exposure. And next one is, this one will be balance. In this node, I'm going to control saturation, and maybe I'm going to do color correcting, correcting color balance in here. The next one will be look. In this node, I'm going to add some creative look in this image. Next one is skin. Okay, this one is for skin tone. And those are going to look adjustment. So in this node, I'm going to do some micro adjustment and going to vignette. Okay, I'm going to explain this later. And goes to spot. Also, I'm going to explain this later. And everything is going to last adjustment, which is a global adjustment. Okay, this is something like a final adjustment, something like that. So the reason why I made a bunch of layers instead of making one is that I can turn on and off one by one. For example, I can maybe turn off all of them, right? And I want to check my color grading process one by one. For example, okay, I'm going to turn on this exposure like this. Oh, good. Okay, then global adjustment, good. And balance, okay, look, okay, skin. Okay, this skin tone is not that good. Like this, I can check my color grading process one by one. So I separate them for each specific tool. And another reason is, okay, maybe now I want to use this curve, like a make S curve for contrast in this exposure node, like this. And now I want to use this curve for color. For example, I'm going to select the red channel and bring this down like this. The image is crazy, but just forget about it. This is just example, okay? So pick up the green channel and I'm going to bring this up. Okay, now I want some mask, like this, and invert it. And I want this, dark. So I'm going to, again, bring this down. Okay, look at this. The curve is, messy. And I don't want this. So what I do is separate them. For example, in this exposure node, I only make S-curve for contrast. Like this, S-curve for contrast. Okay, and balance, this is a color node. I'm going to manipulate each color channel. Like I'm going to bring this red channel down like this. Bring the a blue channel like this and this node. And I want mask around my face. So moving to this spot, and now I'm going to make mask like this and bring the exposure down like this. So separating layers for each specific tool makes the color grading process so much easier and simpler. Okay, now I explained enough, so let's start color grading finally. Okay, so first thing I do is bring the contrast back. I'm not gonna use S-curve for contrast. I use this like a normal contrast right here. So I'm going to bring this up until I get distinguished black and white in this image. Somewhere, I think around this. But now, the exposure, the gain, highlight, whatever it is too much. So I'm going to bring this down until it gets not harsh. Good. And I'm going to bring the gamma up to get some creamy, mid-tone exposure. All right. And now I want some darkness and shadow. So I'm going to bring this lift down. Good. I'm going to leave like this. And moving to global adjustment. In this node, I'm going to add log shadow. So with this, you can get some punchy, strong log shadow. Just look at this. So I'm going to bring this shadow down like this. See? The image is getting strong and punchy, black. Okay, so I am happy about contrast, so I'm going to move to balance. Okay, in this node, I'm going to add saturation like this. Just bring this up. So usually in this node, I do color correcting, but look at this image. I think there is no problem in this image. So look at this RGB parade. The color balance is good enough. I'm not gonna do color correcting, but instead of it, I'm going to do some color adjustments, something like that. Like I want more orange, yellow feel in this highlight. So using Primalist wheels, I'm going to bring this gain up a little toward the red, like this. Okay, I'm going to bring this toward green a little bit, like this. So let's turn off, on, off, on, off, on. Big difference. So moving to this look. Okay, in this node, I'm going to add creative look, some like a film unique look. So this will be game changer. This node is going to change this image completely. Okay, I want like a green blue shadow and like a yellow orange mid-tone highlight. So the first thing I do is bring this highlight. Oh, by the way, I'm going to use log wheels instead of Primalist because in log wheel you can change small details of color informations, like okay, I'm going to change mid-tone, but can you spot the difference? And I'm going to move this toward red. So watch carefully around, around this guy. Okay, I'm going to bring this red. See, it changes, but it's very small different, right? But when it's primaries, it changes a lot, like this. So you can do like a basic color correcting grading with primary wheels, but you can do like a small color grading in log wheels. So like I said, I'm going to bring this toward the red, maybe more. Okay, so moving to mid-tone. Also, I want this red, orange, yellow, moving this point toward yellow. Good. Okay, shadow. This is very important because this changes a lot. So like I said, I want some like a green blue shadow, so I'm going to move this point toward green. See, this changes a lot, okay? Somewhere around this. All right, so far we're done with exposure and color. So now moving to skin tone, okay? Let me take you to the close-up of this face. The skin tone doesn't look good, doesn't look healthy, it looks pale. So from now, I'm going to select only skin tone and change it, okay? So to do that, I'm going to use qualifier. This one, maybe it's called like a color selector or color picker, whatever it is. All right, anyway, with this qualifier, we can select a specific color and we can edit it, all right? So I'm going to pick the skin up like this, and I'm going to do some adjustment to select only skin. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to get crazy about this. So I'm going to blur this out like this. All right. Okay, so I think I need more saturation on this face. So I'm going to use this hue versus option, like a hue versus hue, hue versus saturation. So first thing I do is add some saturation on the face. I guess I'm going to stop right here. And also I'm going to pick this yellow. It looks good. Okay, so moving to hue versus hue. At this point, we're gonna use this vector scope. So can you see this line between red and yellow? Okay, this represents human, like a blood skin tone, something like that. So now look at this vector scope, and I think I should bring his skin tone toward red a little bit more. So okay, I'll go with this. Okay, so I am happy about skin tone and look, balance, exposure so far. And in this node, look adjustment, I'm going to do some micro adjustment. So what did I notice so far? Okay, maybe I want more darkness in this shadow. So I'm going to bring this lift a little bit down, just a little. Really, just a little. Like this. Okay, let's turn off all of this and let's turn on one by one. First, we did exposure and we added the log shadow like this. And next, saturation and color correcting. Game changer was this look. bam. Wow, it changes a lot. You know, before, after, before, after. And after that, we did a skin tone, okay? This is before, after, before, after. Now skin tone looks more cleaner, you know, it pops out, it stands out. And we did some micro adjustment in this look adjustment node. So you can stop right here because image is solid, the color balance seems perfect, and the exposure is right, and it has unique color theme.
Wow, I didn't know about making layers for each specific tool. When I do color grade in Premiere Pro, what I do is make one adjustment layer and apply lots on that and do some adjustments. That's it. So I see you're not using any LUTs, but do you have any specific reason for that?
Well, it's not that I hate LUT, it's just I hate LUT people are selling online these days. You know, everything is different, like a camera, lens different, shooting condition, lighting condition is different, color grading process is also different. You know, it's just, you know, it doesn't fit to me. So if I use LUT, it'll be DaVinci Resolve Rec 709 codec. That's very, very good LUT for making contrast.
Okay, thanks for the great tips, man. The show goes on, but let's take a quick break right here. We're gonna come back here in maybe 5 seconds. The water is necessary in this show. Okay, let's continue.
Alright, welcome back. We have 3 more steps to finish this scene. Well, I want to make this scene more dramatic, so I think I'm going to make some vignette, which is some kind of spotlight by using mask. Okay, I'm going to this node, vignette, and make circle mask like this. You know, make like this spotlight and feather this out and invert. Going to curve and bring the exposure down like this. Okay, off, on, off, on, off, on. The big difference. And it's more dramatic now. Okay, moving to another mask, which is this one, spot. Okay, in this node, I'm going to make also circle mask, but this is for skin. So again, make this circle mask and cover this guy with this mask, feather this out. And what I'm gonna do is track this mask as this guy is moving. So I'm going to play it. So now this mask is tracking this guy automatically, like this. But sometimes, you know, it's going wrong. So I'm going to fix this by manually, you know, frame by frame. You know, what I'm doing right now is to press the right arrow key on the keyboard like this and move the frame one by one. And also fix this mask position like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, again, going to this curve and I'm going to bring this up a little like this. Can you spot the difference? Okay. Off, on, off, on. So now this guy stands out. This guy pops out, right? And also I'm going to turn down the midtone details like this, maybe -20. So what's happening right now is the face is getting creamier. This is 100, -100, 100, -100. I like -20. I always do -20. Okay, so the whole image has strong contrast, but the skin tone, you know, mid-tone is very creamy. This is what I wanted in this scene. Okay, last thing I do is final adjustment. In this global adjustment node, okay, is there anything wrong in this image? Maybe lower the highlight a little bit. Looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so I'm done with this scene. So remember we have another scene, which is this one, but I'm not gonna grade this from the top because, you know, everything is almost same. Like a place is same, the camera setting is same, lighting condition, shooting condition is same. So what I do is the copy node tree from this, you know, hero scene, grab still, and I'm going to paste it to this scene. So now almost 80% is done. What I have to do is only micro adjustment. Okay, now it looks good, but one thing you have to be careful is don't change the color theme from hero scene. Okay, so let's compare those two. Okay, this is hero scene. So shadow is green and a little bit blue, and midtone and highlight is orange, yellow. So what about this scene? It's pretty much the same. Shadow, green, blue, midtone highlight is orange and yellow. So I think they have same color theme. Exposure is pretty much same. Color balance and skin tone is pretty much same also. So I think they're looking great. Yep, I am pretty happy about this. So now my job is done right here. So I'll give this back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Wow, I honestly didn't know how much color grading is important like this, and it changes game completely. Also, it has so huge impact on filmmaking post-production process. So like this, in this show we're gonna do a bunch of remaking scenes from the gears to show you guys our filmmaking post-production process. So if you enjoy this, there will be more. If you're not, this series is going to, and that guy is also going to, what? Sorry man, but only God knows. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions about this video, don't hesitate to leave the comment below. And if you have any requests for next scenes, also leave the comment below. So today's topic is pretty much it, and thank you for watching this video. If you like this scene, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Seriously, 1,000 subscribers. Wow. Can't believe it, but I am so happy about it, and I am so pumped about it. The future is bright. What's next? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.